You know something crazy? It has become such a norm for women to blame men for literally everything that we are also blaming men for your lack of being who you are. For example, a woman will say very quickly, if a man, I can be a feminine woman if a man puts me in a position to feel my feminine energy.
I still want black men to win. I still want y'all to be successful. Just because I don't have any interest in you romantically doesn't mean I don't want you to be successful in life. I do. I still root for y'all. I do.
Talking about he liked me so much he want to come spend a whole week at my house.
Sometimes I see women always saying, oh, men don't want to take us out anymore. They don't want to court us. The thing is, a lot of y'all are the pygmishas that y'all proclaim y'all hate from other women. You will be perceived as desperate when you have to constantly beg a man or wag your fingers or pretty much shame him into taking you out on a date.
Today I'm making lobster rolls for my husband.
House cleaning before we get started. For those who've been rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here coming in or out the door, for me, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Every video engagement absolutely helps promote your boy into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now, let's get to it. Drop the video. Let's go.
You know something crazy? It has become such a norm for women to blame men for literally everything that we are also blaming men for your lack of being who you are. For example, a woman will say very quickly, if a man, I can be a feminine woman if a man puts me in a position to feel my feminine energy. Man, that's not a him thing. Who you are with has nothing to do with you being feminine or not. There are a lot of feminine women out here who are single, who are living alone. Like, it has nothing to do with your partner forcing you to be masculine. If you're masculine, that's a you thing. How is it in the same breath that you say those things, it's on him if I'm not feminine enough? But then in the same breath say, you know what? You have to love yourself. You can't depend on somebody else to make you happy. You have to be happy with who you are. Do y'all not hear yourself? You're talking in circles. You're literally just saying whatever makes you feel good at the moment. And that is where you lose men. Men are logical thinkers. Why are we speaking in circles of emotion if we're trying to connect with men? I'll tell you, because we're not. You're not trying to connect with men. You're trying to connect with other women. You want one place that you can come together and complain about men. The problem isn't men. The problem is you, honey. You are not being who you want to be. You are not requiring people treat you a certain way. You are sticking around with people who you are not happy with. You can say it's hard to leave, but that's not a him problem. That's a you problem. We have to start taking some accountability for our own choices, thoughts, actions, or lack thereof. It's that simple.
She touched on a couple of subjects here: conditional femininity, accountability, and sitting up in echo chambers, right? Conditional femininity is something that the manosphere has been talking about for 15 plus years now, where modern women believe that their femininity is conditional or contingent upon a man doing everything that makes them want to be soft, right? Which they want to blame everyone for their lack of femininity, but the person who's solely responsible for their lack of femininity to start, their mothers, because their mothers are not raising them to be feminine women. And then later on, when they become adults, they still don't try to go and fix that problem. They just put it on or push it down on men and say, well, I'm not feminine because you want to allow me to rest in my femininity or be soft. Well, that's not his responsibility to bring or coerce femininity out of you. You should already be feminine to start, right? If you were actually raised to be feminine, this wouldn't be an issue. But a lot of modern women are not raised to be feminine. They're raised to go and get their education. They're raised to go and chase money. And they're also raised to go out and have hot girl summers and 304 phases and blah, blah, yakety smackety. This is why they're lacking femininity. It has nothing to do with some man coming along and making you be this soft, dainty woman. You should be that to start. And your mother should have taught you how to be feminine. But here's the problem: their mothers are failing them, And they don't want to put the blame and lay the blame where it should be at their mother's feet. And later on, them in their adulthood. The next thing she talked about was accountability. Women not wanting to have accountability for their own choices and actions. This is another talking point that the drum has been beaten and beaten over and over for over a decade now, right? Women lacking accountability, women refusing to accept their part in their own demise when it comes to relationships and marriages. You are the other half of the equation when it comes to why things are failing for you. And a lot of times you're the common denominator and why your relationships keep failing over and over again, but you refuse to look at what you're doing. You refuse to accept the accountability that you may not just be a good person to be in a relationship with. And that lack of accountability makes you not want to fix yourself. And thirdly, the echo chambers, the validation that they constantly seek from other women. That's the problem. They sit up in echo chambers where women share their pathology and seal clap to all their talking points about men, hating on men, instead of telling them sometimes, well, sis, did you look at yourself in the mirror? What are you doing that may cause the issues in the relationship? What are you doing that may speak to why the relationships are failing, right? What are you doing to improve on yourself, not from an educational standpoint, not from a money earning standpoint, because I've told y'all, what makes you a good employee doesn't make you a good partner or a wife. Those things are not synonymous. This is the problem. They're sitting up in echo chambers where they're constantly being told it's not them, it's the men. And this is why women blame men for their lack of femininity, why women blame men for why relationships fail, why women say that men are the problem. Because those three points, that I just said, is the reason why women can't get past their own shortcomings. They refuse to look in the mirror and see themselves how everyone else sees them. The problem.
I still want black men to win. I still want y'all to be successful. Just because I don't have any interest in you romantically doesn't mean I don't want you to be successful in life. I do. I still root for y'all. I do. I haven't met a man yet that is healed enough for me, and I need to work on myself too. Okay, I have my own issues, which is why I'm single. Okay, I still want you to win. I just don't think I just don't think it's for me. Y'all can feel how y'all feel about it. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about it. I'm still going to tag black men in my post because my dad is black. My brother is black. My uncles is black. My granddad is black. My stepdad is black.
Ma'am, nobody cares. There are billions of men on this planet. You don't have to be with black men, and black men don't need you to root for them, right? We don't give a shit. And here's the thing. I've said this a number of times. Misandries and feminists seem to always not be able to decenter men. They always scream about decentering men. We need to decenter men. We need to push men away from our pathology. But you always talk about men. And even the divestors, right? Which she may clearly be a divester. If you're not effing with black men, right? Go F with the men who you want to F with. And stop doing this asinine content. Black men don't care. We don't need your support. We're men. We can support ourselves or we can be lone wolves. We don't care, ma'am. We don't care. No one cares that you support black men and want black men to win. Why does it matter if you want black men to win? You owe us no race loyalty. We live in 2025. If you don't want to F with black people or black men in particular, then don't. It's millions of us, right? We'll find a woman that actually likes us and doesn't have these hangups. So who cares? Move along, little doggy, move along. No one gives a shit, right? What you need to be concentrating on is fixing yourself and your membership in a saggy titty committee.
Talking about he liked me so much, he want to come spend a whole week at my house. I know homelessness when I see it. No.
Homosexuals up 100. Look, I don't know how many homosexuals she had to go through before she realized that this is their pathology. Yes, homosexuals exist. These are the men that are hobos, and they're really good at, because that's all they offer. And a lot of women They fall victim to these guys. They put that D on them, something fierce, and before you know it, he's living in your house, eating up all your kids' snacks, right? Sitting on the sofa all day playing Xbox or PlayStation 5. This is the problem. Homosexuals wouldn't stand a chance in hell if women did not allow them to come and become concubines to them. Women have requirements, right? Women are the vulnerable gender. So there are things that they require to be with a man. And if you're allowing a man to bring nothing to that relationship other than what he has swinging below, then you're part of the problem. You're part of the reason that homosexuals do what they do because you allow a homosexual to infest your home with his homosexuality and the that he brings in, and you get, you get de-whipped and you become dictified, and you think that all that it really matters is that D he's putting on you until the bills show up, right? Until problems show up that require finances. Then you expect your homosexual to turn into an upright guy. It ain't gonna happen. A homosexual will do what a homosexual does, which is nothing.
Sometimes I see women always saying, oh, men don't want to take us out anymore. They don't want to court us. The thing is, a lot of y'all are the pygmishas that y'all proclaim y'all hate from other women. You will be perceived as desperate when you have to constantly beg a man or wag your fingers or pretty much shame him into taking you out on a date. No man wants to be feeling like a damn old ass trick, especially from a woman that will 1 minute say how independent she is and how she doesn't need a man and how she's going to withhold sex from him, and then turn around and say, well, you need to be doing this and that and the third. Why I want to do that? That seems like I'm going to be getting the short end of the stick, and you walking around making it seem like you deserve it when you don't. It's not that men don't want to take care of women. They don't want to do it for your ass. And for some of you, it's a hard pill to swallow when you are so entitled. You kind of have a man look at you like, hold up, she's saying all this, but girl, you're not even all that for real to be sitting here running your mouth. And even if you are physically attractive, you probably don't even have the personality that make me want to be around you for more than 2 hours, let alone take you serious outside of sex. Y'all talk a big game on the internet, but some of y'all are just getting fucked. Why? Because y'all brag about how these bums are just good for sex. Why would you fuck a bum? Men cater to women who carry themselves as such.
Homosexual still up 100. Look, she said nothing but facts on this, right? Men don't want to be perceived as tricks. Men don't want to be perceived as Johns. And a lot of women do this because they buy into the finesse culture from the Shira Sevens and so forth and so forth. Men have requirements, just like women have requirements and expectations or standards or thresholds you have to meet to be in relationships. And if you're a woman and the only threshold you expect from a man to cross to be in your life is finances, then again, you're going to find yourself in this situation where you're dealing with men who are not necessarily men of character, but men of finances, right? And these men can make a ton of money. They can be great career driven guys. They can be great business owners. They can be whatever they're doing to make that money, right? But then the problem comes in when I see a lot of women produce content where they say, well, it takes more than finances. Why? Because they've been burned by the finance guy. And men have a right to not only want to be looked at for what they can provide, especially not in the means of provision when it comes to finances. Provision goes far beyond just finances, right? Provision has a lot of components, but the only part of the provision that a lot of modern women seem to fixate on is the finances. They don't look at the provisioning of wealth when it comes to stability, the provisioning of health, the provisioning of foresight, the provisioning of caring and love, the provisioning of putting your needs before my own, the provision of thinking about you even when you're not around. Those are forms of provision as well. And a lot of women seem to ignore that for the finance component of it because you're buying into finance culture. And I want to ask a lot of you ladies that really buy into this finance culture, how is it working out? What's the results? Are you getting anything tangible outside of wet spots on your mattress? and occasional dollars thrown at you for a good short period of time, right? For a short period of time, I should say. What are you getting out of any of this? Because I still see you online complaining constantly about relationship woes. So it cannot be that high or a degree of success with this finesse culture that a lot of y'all seem to embody, treating men as tricks and johns. If you want something to have validity for the future, stability, and longevity, try being a decent person. Some of you have an aversion to being just a decent person, and that's a you problem, not a man problem.
So today I'm making lobster rolls for my husband, and y'all, they turned out so good. First, you need some fresh lobster meat and add in all the spices you see on the screen. And you want to make sure you mix these in really, really well, so it should look something like this. And then in a hot pan, you want to add some butter and some garlic paste, and then take that seasoned meat so we can get it all nice and crispy. Quick little break to cut up my herbs, and then I added the lobster meat to a bowl, added some mayo, some chives, parsley, lemon juice, and mix that up. It looks so good just like this. But we're gonna take some Hawaiian rolls, cut those in half, and put the mixture right inside of them. I put some garlic butter on top and put them in the oven just to get crispy, and the result...
How many of you know exactly what it was that she made? I get it. The food looks great. She did a terrific job on it. But why the first roll, right? Why the first look that we see was your rear end? See, I tell women this all the time. It's okay to make content like this, but let's not play games here. This is titillation. I keep saying it. This is titillation. You keep making these videos, you keep producing this content, and you got on a very form-fitting dress. You clearly have a BBL because you were not born and blessed with that naturally. And you're showing it off. And this is a married woman, by the way, because she says she's making this for her husband. So you're a married woman that's into softcore corn, because that's exactly what this is when you present yourself like this. But you're doing it under the guise of recipes. We ain't buying it. I'm not buying what you're putting down. I dig on what you're putting down, and so will any other guy that comes across this video. But you're not slick. This is nothing more than content produced to provide stimulus in the form of titillation. That's all this is. And of course, I went to her TikTok page and she had several videos like this on there. This is nothing more than titillation, right? I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. The recipe she cooked looked fantastic. Great food. I'm sure her husband enjoyed it. But why did you have to show yourself like this in the video? That's my question. Anybody want to jump in the comments and explain why she would wear this form-fitting dress to make a cooking video? Please explain it to me. Maybe I have something wrong here. Maybe I'm off cue with this, but I don't believe I am. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. I catch y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out of here. See y'all in the next one. Titillation. Black Jesus.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless.